What's going on, guys? Happy New Year. And we are going to continue on with Madden tonight. Hopefully y'all are safe, had a great New Year.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs. He's putting together an incredible season, now in double digits with 10 picks. It's the Cowboys and the Bears, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of, sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gauton, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
All right, let's go.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out.
And not only was it great to see Dak Prescott make his return in 2021, it's even better to see him playing the best ball of his career. He didn't lead Dallas to just a division title and its best record in 6 years. Dallas also led the league in yards and points, the first time it has led in both since 1971.
They'll start the drive with Elliott.
Nope.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 76 yards.
Zeke's not having a good year this year.
This far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his biggest week yet.
Give him Tim there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Oh, no.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and
Bad throw.
incomplete. Jalen Johnson that time able to knock it away. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards.
I don't know.
To convert
I don't think I'm going to get it.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Oh, I got it.
It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here.
That's
at the
awesome.
Bears 40. A
That
sizable
is an awesome
16-yard
start.
chunk there. The drive continues. First down, Prescott. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down.
Holding.
And they may be going backward here. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I'd be worried about this game, maybe more
All right,
than
not a
any
bad
other on
start.
the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
A first down carry by Elliott. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Nice.
Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon.
Perfect touch pass.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? What he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive, and he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A shotgun snap, Fields. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Charles already trailing by touchdown early.
They ain't beating this defense. What's up, Chris?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to
they beat my defense.
Be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score
Well,
any
everybody
points.
gets lucky.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears
I am
with the
loving this
football.
game.
We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Fields now to throw. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. Here's Fields. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the
That's the way to start it.
take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Some more great football coming your way in prime time to wrap up the month of October. It starts tonight. Could it be a Super Bowl preview? The Packers and Bills from Buffalo at 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow, Halloween night, Monday Night Football, the Bengals and Browns from Cleveland. And
Thank you.
This game has changed in importance in recent years. That starts at 8:15 Eastern.
I looked away.
Here's a
That's on me.
throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Prescott from the gun on third. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Nice.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Buying time to his left. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Here's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
That's okay. We got this.
Now here's the option play going left. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. And incomplete on the deep ball.
The offense schemed.
Almost another interception.
Trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah,
Number 11 on the year.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Now Prescott. Complete to Hilton. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 25 yards that time. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw. Prescott.
He dropped it.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone. On 2nd and goal. Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete. All right, Captain.
I cannot make anything.
Defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal? Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you? And that is caught.
Got it.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
3rd time's the charm.
2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things
What's
on
up,
offense,
Sierra?
and your defense feels much better too, having that lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Taken in at the 3. The Bears going to take over now late in this first half.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And this one is incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions.
Thank you.
He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Fields on first down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right, because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. To the air again, Fields. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection. And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a wrong one. But second, you set the other guys up a great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
About set for this next drive of the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
Dante Hightower on the stop. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute, but first let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween.
I gotta stop
We'll begin with
I
the
gotta
battle
pay attention
in the
to my
Keystone
throws.
State. Pittsburgh heading east to take on Philadelphia. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. Devontae Smith, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Falcons trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
I want to say that.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and
I'm
Charles.
sorry, Sierra.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some
It's
time.
not a bad thing that it's slow.
Struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Micah Parsons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Right side, Claypool's got it. So
Good stop.
good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out, hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for.
There you go.
And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. And he gets it down to the 32.
Any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And inside the 20.
I should have bounced outside.
45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his 1st sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with career touchdown number 60. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they do the rest of the game.
That's terrible.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one.
I'm
as
sorry.
It's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 1st down, it's Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Fields going to keep it running right. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Hopefully things get better for you.
On 3rd down, Fields got an open man. It's Kringle, and he will have the Bears' 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another 1st down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Stop them from getting the purse.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Fields throw complete here to Kmet. And he's going to be taken
Oh,
down
we stopped him.
right
Okay.
at the 40-yard
Good.
line. The offense on third down.
Awesome.
2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball
Got
from
him.
the other.
The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
A solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Same to you.
They keep on the ground with Elliott.
Ah,
Give him a couple on the carry there.
Not a good
2nd and
run.
8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the
they're having a hard
challenge.
time stopping him
So
now.
after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Oh no.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's the problem. One penalty can really screw you up. And it was such a great drive.
Oh, fine work there as he
All
gets
right,
this
have a good
thing
night,
to the
Sierra.
11-yard line.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with career touchdown number 75. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, I tell you, Ezekiel Elliott, he is just built like a bowling ball, and he powered his way into the end zone there.
I love that description of him because when you think about Zeke, you think about lower body strength and those legs churning and creating extra yardage.
Well, at least it wasn't a wasted drive.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. 20. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Ooh, Green Bay. This should be a good game. That looks amazing.
It's week 10 of the 2022 season. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs, who's really putting up incredible numbers all season.
I love the look of the field with the snow on it.
The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Leading the Packers offense out here, the same man who has been doing so since 2008. That's the great Aaron Rodgers. First play and a first throw for Rodgers. They're going for Lazard.
And it already starts.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
And it already starts. What the hell?
Into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So
12 on the year.
play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Ooh, I
Sometimes
guess.
it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
I can't believe I missed that.
Another shot on offense following that pick
It's okay.
six. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the
We'll blame it on the
25.
snow.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back. You can move forward from there.
Here's Jones again on second down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
I knew this was going to be a good one.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Rodgers now to throw. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
They're going to, wow.
They'll run it with Jones. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20.
Yeah, I screwed that up.
17. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
That's okay.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. It moves right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Touchdown! Robert Tunyon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Dak Prescott and Dallas taking the field for their first possession. Dak now in his 7th season in charge of the Cowboys. 2-time Pro Bowler.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to
Not
see
the
how they
greatest
come
of
out and
runs.
establish themselves here early.
And
We
that
got
bye
this,
week coming
though.
right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the quarterback because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They go to Elliott again. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. A lot of storylines in this matchup. The Packers have had the upper hand. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings. You think about the Dez Bryant game in the playoffs and the catch, no catch controversy. Of course, the news here, the return of Mike McCarthy. He was the coach here from 2006 to 2018. Only Curly Lambeau himself has more wins as a Packer coach than McCarthy, and that includes Vince Lombardi. So he had quite an accomplished tenure, no doubt, including the Super Bowl win. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. You think back to last week, they dropped that game to the Detroit Lions. Now they're trying to make amends here as they've got the football and the lead. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2nd and 5.
This could be the week I lose.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Quick slant to Watson. And they get him down now before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. On first down, Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Rodgers. They'll complete this one to Watson.
First down.
Tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 46. And again, it's Rodgers.
I think I finally found an offense I can't stop.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Holy crap.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front.
Yeah, I can't stop him.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watson. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down.
Well, at least I held him to a kick.
Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Parkey is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now, the midterm elections are now concluded, and I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief for that. But now it's time for midterm football, where we move past the unofficial halfway point of the season, and we got a couple of good matchups in the night games here in Week 10. Tonight it's North versus South in California, the Chargers and Niners from Santa Clara. And
Oh!
night, it's both Charles's birthday, happy early birthday, buddy, and the first primetime appearance for the Commanders.
I should have
as they
timed.
travel up to Philly to take on the Eagles. A lot going on.
And I didn't even do
Halftime
the...
over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back live now inside
Yeah,
the
I
booth
screwed that
alongside
up.
Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
That's okay.
This one fielded at the 5. And up to
I'll
about
get it
the
figured out.
26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but they're definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point, because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week, an unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. I think for both coaches, they look at their team and say, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The kick by Marr is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been automatic
Not
to this
really
point
what I
of the
wanted,
season,
but
and
okay.
he connects on the field goal there.
I'll take it.
What a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year
Thank you,
long.
Cindy.
Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
I mean, it is what it is. I
Rodgers
blew
will
that
break
kick,
the huddle
so...
and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And nothing doing.
And my
He's immediately
offense ain't
taken
playing
down at
that
the line of
great.
scrimmage. A 3rd quarter now, and a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. They do get
we stopped him.
but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That's taken on the 25. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, my passing game is not good today in this one.
And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th.
That's what's gonna kill me.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 67 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The give is to Elliott. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Over the middle. Hauled in by Lamb. And the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know This is where you need a quarterback who can keep his grill back.
Nope.
Not just
They
for
stopped me.
himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. It seems like we have seen this a lot in his rookie year. A nice tackle for a loss.
And the more games he gets under his belt, the better he's gotten. And sometimes you worry about rookies hitting the wall. Not in this case.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. His 8th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have taken a 5th quarter lead. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
That's true. You've said that before. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
I needed that.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain.
I needed that. Norris way.
Again to Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And they'll get it down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th of the year. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. This time, the extra point up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff.
I hit the button too soon. Oh well.
Send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down by 12. A little under a minute 50 remaining.
So how was everybody's New Year?
It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Able to find Jones. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this
Another pick six.
into the end zone. Cowboy defense has
13 on the year.
This has just really been a solid second half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game.
Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get you.
We got that comeback
a very hard
going.
victory.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And
it is broken up.
They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
Running and defense saved me on that
Dallas, one. The train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get it up.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs, who's now up to
14.
a ridiculous 14 interceptions so far this season.
I thought it was only 13.
It's the Cowboys and the Vikings. Next.
All right, I'll take 14.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's
a
good
good
way to
start
start
right
the
there.
drive. 17 yards and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Bet they won't be leaving that open
For the
anymore.
extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. It doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Nice.
An excellent
That was a good run.
coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
This is taken at the 15. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. Well, let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Hasn't even broken 1,000 yards this year.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 15 carries, 107 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their
I had
team,
that.
how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and play. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
They go play action. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 32 on the play. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 14 carries, 59 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it second down and 12. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Sider, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8. Prescott to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Prescott's throw there, caught by Gallup. And they're going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I thought I had that one.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Now Elliott.
Nope.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding it at the 2.
No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. The second down play
Damn, they stopped me.
Since you ran it twice, but I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run forward with Pollard.
Nope.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the
Wow.
They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1.
I should have just kicked it.
They come up big down near the goal line. Cousins on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. Cousins now. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3rd and long for Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The kick by Maher is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster.
That's twice they stopped me in the red
You
zone.
were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where you see the final score there. Davis Mills, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Kadarius Toney, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they did even less on the ground as they've struggled to get the run game going.
That hurts.
Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. But they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
A second down throw for Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. To throw, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit,
Almost
but
got
they
him.
say it's incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Fielded at about the 28. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Cowboys to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Off play action, Elliott. Here's Prescott. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Down the throw.
I cannot connect with anything.
And incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. They'll look to set up his blockers. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
And a short pickup to about the 25.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. Finding space at the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
1st down. Here's Cousins.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
They'll throw again. Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. From the red zone now, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard
Come
line
on.
here.
Final minute now in the 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, Cook. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Over the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Harris Campbell, his 1st touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Damn.
Extra point by Simon, up and good. And a lead
is now 14-10.
All right.
Sent down to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pollard to return from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing. Prescott. And open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield or man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
There's a space here. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. The 71 yards rushing now for Zeke, and he's got a first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. From the red zone now, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott right back to his running back, Ezekiel Elliott. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, second to every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game.
Oh, no.
Bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Will likely put an end to this thing. Here's Cook again. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half of the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Vikings, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get another home date next week as the...
Oh, I guess you can't win them all. Thank you, Cindy.
It's the NFL on EA Sports.
It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Dak Prescott and Dallas taking the field for their first possession. Dak now in his 7th season in charge of the Cowboys. Two-time Pro Bowler. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start on the ground with Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 75 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Prescott now. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Much appreciated.
A first down carry by Elliott. He'll take this to the 46. Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself.
Problem is now I'm tied with Eagles for first place.
Did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL. That's
Happy New Year to you.
Back when I played with dinosaurs roam the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh no, we've got to put in Davis.
Got it open, man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're going to have another first down.
I got to stick with what I know on this, even if it is short passes.
Short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively. Well, it could have gone for more.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's Prescott. The quick slant caught.
Got it.
Cowboys. T.Y. Hilton. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by the T.Y. Hilton touchdown. And that'll
Once I get everything working, I get into a groove.
Here come the Giants, led out by their
I'll
former
be
6th
okay.
overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the
All right,
second
I
quarter.
got this.
Back-to-back good
No
plays
messing
happening
around.
on the move on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to be out, down inside the 20 and
What's
the
the penalty,
15.
though?
Illegal touching. Offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good.
Held them to 3, so that's a good
But still
start.
trailing, it's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Cowboys and Dak Prescott getting set to take over once more. He was 4-4 on that opening drive, including the touchdown pass, as he'll try again here to duplicate that success, starting with a 1st down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now a nice throw here, right side, he hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big play here as they strike for 31. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott.
Nope.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Oh no, I overthrew.
First one incomplete. Our game here, a Thanksgiving staple in Dallas dating back to 1966.
That would have been a
It was
nice
Tex
throw. That would have been a
Schramm,
nice
the
catch
Cowboys
too.
GM, who wanted to drum up a little publicity. And he drew 80,000 to the Cotton Bowl to see the Cowboys beat the Browns that year in '66. And a tradition was born and has only grown in love and passion over the years. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, A long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
Jones throw on target to James. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
I have no clue why I
First
threw
down
that.
now, but that clock rolling. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
And now I'm going
Giants
to pay
go
for
ahead
it.
and use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's James. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw again. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys
Thank
will
God.
have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So that a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw here pulled in by Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. To throw is Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On second down, Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A first down throw for Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving again to everybody at home as we take a look ahead to what's coming up both later today and this weekend. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. And then finally, a Cyber Monday edition of Monday Night Football, as the final game of November is the Steelers and the Colts from Lucas Oil Stadium. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there. Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
I gotta stop making mistakes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Jones. And this will be
Damn it.
caught. It's Isaiah Hodgins. And he will have
All
the
right.
Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Looking to throw. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Steps away to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Jones got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. A nice little juke. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw again. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. Back now in Arlington. It's the
This is
Giants with
crazy.
possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd down. Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Barkley will score. Touchdown, New York. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Boy, a tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys.
I need a
certainly have
miracle.
good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Nope.
Carry now for Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Draw play, Elliott. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation, I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
I'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Prescott. He goes right back the way of Hilton. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Throwing on first
The hell
down,
was
but
I
this one
throwing
winds
at?
up to be incomplete.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they
I wouldn't be no challenge for you.
In Arlington. Here's Prescott.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown. T.Y. Hilton. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cowboys answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead.
Extra point by Mara, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards.
And it's capped off by the T.Y. Hilton touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now Jones and the Giants down 14-10. Less than 90 seconds to go. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Again, it's Elliott. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
Nice.
And Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep. If they close this
I
game
needed
out,
that.
just a few snaps remaining, they can't relax just yet.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field.
Well, this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
Jones.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 35.
Now Jones. They'll find Hodgins there, complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top-5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play,
It's the National
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out.
okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdowns.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go to Elliott again. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe.
Thank you, Cindy.
The numbers for Zeke from last
I wasn't
week.
worried. I knew you were here.
Carries, 94 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play.
Nope.
And when you have guys like that on your team, you've got a chance for success when the injury bug hits.
You're good. No worries.
He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. As Indy's offense takes the field for the first time, we take a look at Matt Ryan, top 10 all-time in passing yards, playing his first career season outside of Atlanta. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Ryan. This one completes Alec Pierce. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25. Here's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
10 more there and another first down.
The Cowboys at 10-1 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about
Thank you.
partner comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
To throw again on second down. Prescott out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing. Prescott.
Oh my God.
Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching their bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
From the 27, Ryan finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to catch.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw is Ryan. To the right side, complete to Taylor.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds.
Thank God for that.
Big call there. That brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And out now come the Cowboys.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Inside give to Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Back to throw here.
And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Finding Hilton on the slam. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. From the red zone now, Prescott. And he's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously.
Watch them score,
we'll see
too.
if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts.
That'll be my
stop
luck.
it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. A throw on the money there to Doolin. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On second and inches, Ryan hits his target, the tight end Mo Alley-Cox. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On first and 10, it's Ryan. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
Oh, that sucks.
That's on the tackle, Braden Smith.
That sucks for them.
The hold. They're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Ryan. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Josh Allen, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Desmond Ridder, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And then lastly, we wrap up this first week of December with Monday Night Football. It's the Saints and Bucks from down in Tampa. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Colts in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
It's been a rough one tonight.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he'll get it up past the 20.
That's okay, though.
The 22. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw caught by Pierce. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First and 10, Taylor down to the 43, second down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime Minks had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now Ryan. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. And
Thank God.
The Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Again to Elliott. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I'm getting lucky. That's all it is. It's a walk.
Tough man to bring down all night. Prescott looks to throw on first. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Down to about the 22 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackle made by Grover Stewart. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Prescott. This will be caught just inside the 10. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be looking at a 1st and goal as he's out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
No, it's not, Cindy. It's just me.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I don't think before I try going
It's
for
the Cowboys
plays,
with a football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the 4th.
which is why
So
everybody
first
wants to
and
play
goal,
against me.
6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Elliott.
That's because they know I'm an easy target to beat.
Minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Again, it's Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Cowboys are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I think your charm's not broken at all.
So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Oh.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw.
See, it's because I do stupid stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he couldn't quite
Almost got it in, too.
Tackled down at the 1. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and
That
goal.
was good.
Now Elliott, and this time he is in. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Extra point by Marr, up and good.
A lot of it's just me. Like, I don't think about the plays I'm doing.
Plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
Especially when I throw.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And Ryan's throw taken in by Edwards. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Ryan. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Ouch.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll run with Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
What's
2
up?
minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You got me.
Quiddy Pay able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain an 18-point lead. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboys defense has a touchdown.
I suppose it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that we could have seen a comeback, but that touchdown touchdown should put any hopes of a comeback out of reach. It's been a really quality effort for them here in this one.
And no matter what else you think, you have to admire the initiative to finish things up their way. Don't leave anything to chance, no matter how small the odds of a comeback were. Send it home with a touchdown and get to celebrating.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Over the middle, it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now it's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Ryan.
And this one complete to Doolin.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made.
They're playing for pride right now.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Ryan.
And he's got Pierce.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. To try again after the sack. Ryan looking for Pierce, and he's got
they got it.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Colts are finally
Oh my gosh, their subs are so good.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
This fielded right at the goal line.
So
We got one down the road from us.
Formality, obviously, Charles, wrapping up a game that they should be very happy about, in which they got the win.
Yeah, I thought they were clearly the better team by the end, and they earned this one with a terrific game plan and consistent effort throughout. Only fitting that they have.
Yeah, they make some of the best subs there. Watch me lose to these guys. I would be so mad. Was it one of the best sub shops
It's
ever?
week 14 of the 2022 season, and we'll get a look here at Davis Mills as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Dak Prescott and Dallas taking the field for their first possession. Dak now in his 7th season in charge of the Cowboys. Two-time Pro Bowler.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. This running game is so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week.
Exactly.
100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity.
Way
and
better.
That's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
All right. Well,
meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. As you can see, they're not operating at full health today, partner. That's been a big story the last couple of weeks. But the bottom line, their record is solid, and you know that this is still a very dangerous team, even with those guys missing.
What they have shown us throughout this season is that this team has stayed focused, and some injuries, they're just not going to derail the momentum they've built up all season long. They continue to go out there and play and give their best performances.
not where I wanted it.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a
yeah, we had one open up down the road like a year or two ago.
Out of Stanford.
About a year.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 16.
I was happy when they opened up.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. Room here to run. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. These two teams, if you look back to 2021, quite a disparity between these two Lone Star State offenses.
Thank you.
Last season, the Cowboys #1 in the league in terms of total yardage.
Oh, I missed the interception.
We know about all the struggles that they had.
Damn it.
They came in at number 32, which is dead last. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 43. A first down throw for Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Another one caught by Collins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd
You'll love
down.
it, Cindy. Guarantee you.
It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
I have to stop him here.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
Oh!
He's caught. Touchdown, Texans. Chris Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
That's okay.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
It's all good.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
I'll tell you, Cindy, once you have it, you'll never look at like Subway the same way again.
Last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Their subs are that good.
Quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
The Cowboys at 11-1 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Prescott now from the 50. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Open man Lamb, it's complete.
Touchdown, Cowboys!
Good thing I went for it.
That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense.
A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions, in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better
Let's get
accomplishment
this
to
stop.
get there now, because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen.
Got it.
Good
We stopped them.
on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this one. You're thinking of 3rd down, you might possibly
That's
see
usually
some
how it
pressure, you might see a
happens.
blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped him for no gain.
Like once you eat Jersey Mike's, it's like it's all over.
Johnston now as he sends this one away.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
They don't have as many bread selections as Subway does.
Coming up tonight, we got a good one in the AFC West. Get the Parkas out, Kansas City and Denver from the frigid Empower Stadium at Mile
But it's
High.
still really good.
You can turn those Parkas in for some shorts, golf polos, and flip-flops. Monday Night Football in Arizona. Patriots, Cardinals, 8:15 Eastern. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the first half. All knotted up at 7. Prescott on first down. He's got his man. It's Gallup. Touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes down for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Marr on for the extra point.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Never heard of it. We don't have one up here, unfortunately.
And only able to get this to the
We only have Jersey Mike's and Subway.
Should have opted for the touchback.
Well, we have a couple other ones too, but
That 7-0 lead in there.
Honestly, their
short-lived
subs
as they
kinda
now give up
suck.
2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Damn, now I'm hungry. Thanks, Sierra.
To throw, Mills. And his throw here is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Mills to the air again. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First down, Prescott. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Thank you.
A first down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
It's my fault anyways. I didn't eat before I screamed, so
Only spanning 3 plays. And it was
that one's on me.
on the touchdown reception by Ezekiel Elliott. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. First down, Mills. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Final play of the half, Mills. He's going to look deep for more. Into a double team, and it's
look who's got it.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
As if anybody's surprised.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. For the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And Freeman lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes. And while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Marr now to have the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position. And only 1 play to score it. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Mills from the gun on 3rd down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman.
And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. A handoff here to Ogunbowale. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They go again with Ogunbowale.
And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st
Doing
and 10.
a lot of running this quarter.
And they'll try to throw here. Mills swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's Hogan Bawale. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. Taking it right down Broadway. The 40. Past the 20. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Houston set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game.
Back now in Arlington. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
2 fumbles, 2 interceptions.
Taken at the goal line.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Here's Mills. On a slant, here's Collins.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Okay, I goofed that one up.
On 1st and 10, Mills.
His throw incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again, it's Mills. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to let this one go deep. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
A first down carry by Elliott.
Nope.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's
They are
back to
just
3rd and
stopping
10.
that run now.
They go to Elliott again.
Yep.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
Here's Smith to return it. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. And the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Unbelievable.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. After the pick 6 a moment ago, here's Mills again. And that is not
almost happened again.
In the middle of the field and incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Mills.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big.
And his pass is intercepted.
Intercepted again.
Today.
Picked up by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout. But
Thank you.
know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
I think my defense scored more points than my offense. I like how every year it gets a little bit more realistic.
It's back.
The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys taking the field on offense, and for a 7th season, it's Dak Prescott who brings him out. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. A good gain of 9 on first down. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 15 carries, 91 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
I'm sorry.
23 yards to pick up there.
I hope you get better soon.
Early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. The Cowboys at 12-1 now to start play. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they certainly have...
I didn't get it.
If you can run up 40-plus points a game, you certainly take a lot of pressure off of your defense, and you're not going to lose very often.
The Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get ready for the playoffs. Make your move then.
So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. Great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
Ooh, short kick.
This one fielded at the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his 2nd season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. ETN up the middle. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now Lawrence to throw. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he will have a Jaguars first down. They needed 4. He doubled down.
Yeah, just keep doing that. You'll be fine.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball.
It comes and it goes.
Even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna play next week.
On EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down. Another tote for Etienne. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13.
I blew that one.
That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A give to Etienne running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Riley Patterson now.
Oh, we stopped them and held them for 3, so that's good.
39-yard attempt, right hash. Patterson's kick is good. On the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
I thought he could have blocked that.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Takes it at the 7. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Prescott now from the 50.
Ooh.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups.
Remind me, I have to pre-order
Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer
One Piece Odyssey.
And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay. On first down, Lawrence. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Lawrence on 3rd down.
It comes out to 13. So I plan on starting it when it comes out.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. 1 second, all that remains. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start in the NFC East. This one always a battle. New York taking on Washington, and that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game all even as they host the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out of the locker room. We're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back upstate to Jacksonville and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3.
There's a lot of games I got to get. I still have to get my SSD or I'm not going to be able to get anything.
Really been able to to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ready to go.
Lawrence will throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. Here's Lawrence to throw. And it's incomplete.
Almost intercepted.
Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Damn. That would have been nice.
Open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead of that mistake, resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
But to throw again is Lawrence.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Lawrence.
No.
It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
No.
Zay Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars have got it back to within a score.
Lock it.
They'll try and run it here. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
I call
Sometimes
hacks.
you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup.
Nice.
He will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And a points result, we'll call this play significant.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
That's okay.
43 yards on the ground.
That's
for him
fine.
so far. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Back now in Jacksonville. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Running the sweep, Hilton with it. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. Now Elliott. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Elliott trying to get to the goal line.
Damn.
Stopped just short at the 1.
They swarmed him.
A goal line stand brewing. It's third and goal. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. Third and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
If I don't get this, I'm screwed.
Now Prescott on fourth down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. An incompletion there on fourth and goal from the 3. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now their defense came through with the goal line stand, got them the ball back. See what they can do about putting a drive together. Long way to go.
They need to reward that defense. Goal line stand, they've got to make that stand up themselves, right? Give the defense a chance to catch their breath on the sidelines. At least get 2 first downs. 3 would be better. Change field position. Let them catch their breath.
Here's Lawrence. Able to find Jones, but that's not going to help the cause as he stops short of the 10.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Malik Hooker, there in coverage. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10.
Back to throw. Lawrence into the hands of Ingram.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Throwing now, Lawrence.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
They're going on fourth down. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Inside give to Elliott. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And they take a knee. Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other, and they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a
Thank you.
It's Madden NFL 23. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Sanders last week, 15 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early,
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Dak Prescott and Dallas taking the field for their first possession. Dak now in his 7th season in charge of the Cowboys. 2-time Pro Bowler.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory.
Nice. I'll take it.
For Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 69 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm with the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 25-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The Cowboys at 13-1 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And they were able to tough it out last week. A close one-score game. And those are the kind of wins that pull you together as a team because everyone gains confidence and they feel like they can continue to get better.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Elliott.
Well, at least I got the first.
First down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Throwing. Prescott. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. An 11-yard touchdown.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy.
And the Cowboys respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So back
Not me. I never get to sleep in.
for their second drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
These two teams all tied after one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Graham has putted out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Sanders. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins.
Stopped them.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9.
Yep.
Call it a
7-7.
loss of 2 there on the play.
Well, it's about to be 10-7.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. 30. 10. He will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Marr on for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this
Bet
again.
they weren't
After the
expecting
kick
that
return,
one.
TD, here's yet another kickoff. Riss take it in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Credit the sack to Leighton Vander Esch. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have
Hell
done
yeah.
to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Fielded at the 43. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott. And
Damn it.
it'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on
I think
what's
this will be
going
the
on
last
around
one for the night,
NFL.
and then I'll finish
Some
it
great
Sunday.
games coming up on Sunday, highlighted by a 1 o'clock matchup in Miami. A good test for the Dolphins as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Then, on Sunday night, wrap up your Christmas day with a great one in the NFC. The Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern Time. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change.
No. Tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
From the 27, Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it. But it's the
he took that right to the stomach, too.
And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Brandon, they're still in the lead. The momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence. And you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st. Off the play fake, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it up, but on that play, it had no chance.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the playback, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put
They're going to like mess my running all
those
up.
are the plays they need to continue to convert.
We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. Back now in Arlington. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the 4th.
Oh,
Now a 2nd
that
down
would have been
throw
nice.
for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Eagles are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so
I should have ran it.
that you end up running yourself into an error.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. Clock running under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 64 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Prescott on 1st down. Fighting Hilton on the slant. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 77 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now a timeout called for by the defense.
as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
On second down, Elliott once more.
And he stopped immediately there. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The kick by Marr is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset
Nice.
here. It's a huge
Awesome on the
kick there.
20.
Gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Hurts and the Eagles now down 20-17.
A little under 50 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Hurts trying to hurry up the offense.
He's back to throw. Dancing to his left.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Watkins the intended receiver, but now it'll be third down. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
This is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order
I'll
to
take
make
it.
that big move and maybe
I will
become
take
the
it.
guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
We all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there were times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome was in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting. But in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So for Dallas, it's another win for them. And you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now.
All right, guys, I am getting out of here for the night. I want to thank everybody for likes, comments, shares. As always, I appreciate